learning thing. He'll have a way of making it exciting and fun. Just like easy, now they can still die by the attack. That was so but this game can only get less than as far as we go multiple lives. And that's a big difference because setback Titan's bar, you know, the bar that makes sense. And this is like the game is not I have to sit back and so now this backs up. This goes to show that it's possible that entity personalization heavily in the DLC and story beats in the future will kind of expand into that so I agree with that is now this is Titans okay, so here's some things that are going to so the first thing is 40 years prior to the events Jurassic Park is about to discover for the first time areas that was there discussing paradox which is paradox not the same thing. Obviously, but it's important to note that paradox Jurassic. So that's something that is now one could say it's possible that they've been down there the whole time. Maybe, maybe not. We don't know that for sure. But what we do know, historically within the region, the first time they were discovered was 140 years prior to the events of the game, right? Then 87 years prior to the game, a research facility was constructed in Area Zero. And then the big one, 10 years prior to, obviously, the events of the game, Professor Seda, or Professor Duro, discovered that the energy emitted by the crystals in Area Zero causes the terrestrial phenomenon. The professor proceeded to invent the TerraCorp technology, sharing it with the Pokemon League and the Academy. Now, here's the thing. Many of you are probably like, okay, that makes sense. They discovered it 10 years prior to the game, and then they gave it to the Academy. However, I want to point out something that I noticed. It's not Cal's direction. The events of the the same year that the professors gave outside of the crater. So the same time being an evolution adventure, terrestrialization becomes a true thing. That is not coincidental, that is tremendous reference, and I love it because it reveals that there's still more of a connection with Kalos to come, that we're going to discover that terrestrialization and mega evolution are not that far off from each other in terms of how they both came to be. Now, we know the general information of how terrestrialization came to be and how mega evolution came to be, but being about that is going to be a phenomenal discovery that is going to be very interesting to discuss more because it would mean that one analogy in terrestrialization first which one ever made 2021, which would mean that we're at the very least near the very end of 2020. So it's possible that she could have just missed Rose's theatrics in gallery. Regarding the new Darkest Day, or she found out about it, which is interesting because she doesn't mention anything about it when she arrives in Paris. But if you know about the enigmatic library exhibition, we talk about it. It's very interesting. So it's interesting that how we could avoid teachers and teachers like that's what makes this information a bit more interesting than what it seems on the surface. And we come to our last bit of modern day information right before the events of the game. And we'll start with the whole time thing first and then work our way back to Clavel or Clavel. I can never say his name correctly. Jock. So Time obviously retires as the part-time gym leader and she becomes the mathematics teacher at the academy, committing to the game and whatever attending. Obviously, her twin sister becomes type gym leader back in Montenegro, I think it's called. Information that I think is much more important. And that's that this assistant job, which is a biology teacher, left their jobs as researchers. A biology teacher. Okay. So this means that were they researchers for? Researchers for nobody else but the professor. Which means that John played Nita and the professors. What was happening right now? And based assault research that despite being genetic cause their entire so now, once again, very suspect. And for the next few weeks, time to jobs and Rayford's character and look back because if we missed it, I believe that Sid Solid from the region could possibly be related to Quill. I couldn't say his name because I don't know if you guys know say it correctly. But you know who I'm talking about. Obviously, he was a big part of the game. He's the creative director. And moving to number 4, we go with that's a picture of speculate forever, but for now, this is all the information actually with the other regions of Pokemon too. I'm going to go through all their history throughout the next coming weeks and discuss them because all of these regions bleed into each other and we can find new things when we go in to discover them. So I hope you guys like this video, and if you did, and if you're new here, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and share me with your friends. And as always, I'm Drogain, and I'm out.
New Gold Bond Body Bright. Its stabilized vitamin C is now for your whole body. It's clinically shown to brighten skin. New Gold Bond Body Bright. Champion your skin.
That a lot of the evidence that's pretty much presented is falsified. Well, here's the funny part. There was a war that Kanto possibly could have been involved in. However, it's not as recent as many people have realized. And there was a great Pokemon war in this region, but a lot of other things were involved that caused this region to possibly, or area of the Pokemon world rather, to go into a civil war. If you're curious to find out, sit back, relax, and get ready for me to present one of my longest videos ever on this channel discussing the Great Pokemon War. Before I present my findings and present this theory outright in a long-winded form, I have to discuss a few things that would make it more clear in the sense of world building and the timelines. First and foremost, this will be taking place in the Mega timeline. Because in the non-Mega timeline, there is no indication that this area could have gone to war. And as I present my findings, it will make more sense and will be more clear as we go on. But of course, we have less towns in this timeline now. Not where towns like most in Pokemon, parallel universes are in Pokemon. And something one of these parallel universes was rather mentioned to America. In regards to time, this is when we are supposed to be a weapon. And because of this, elements of stones is theorized by Professor Sycamore that have been broken to ultimate weapons energy to basically then create mega stones, which allows certain species to get into mega evolve. This took the world by storm, so future like Alola and Kanto and Owen all took part in participating in using mega stones for mega evolution. However, in the non-mega timeline, as you can pretty much guess by the title, there is no mega evolution, and therefore that is the crux as to why this war happens to happen only in the Mega Evolution timeline, because Mega Evolution is what causes the Civil War in this area of the Pokemon world that I can find with the evidence that's presented. First and foremost, you have to put things in a timeline perspective. So, many exiles in this creation of what happened the events of the technology games, but it's the original things together. It all happened from 1996 to 2018. First time since we after ancient times, after ancient times, and Because years prior to 1996, that being 986, the events of this happened. This being the mega memories that was staged by Rodon and Kyogre, and a tall visitor from a distant land visited to see and witness this happen. Okay, so now, if anyone was thinking that Zinnia's words were mere coincidence, or she was lying, this conversation was and was faster in question confirms that she wasn't. An exchange that Weasley's master had with the player over the years and during the main storyline of the games, and it discussed that the tree was planted in the front of the game of origin, and it was given to the people by a huge man visiting from the Kalos region. There's only one man we can think of who's huge for the Kalos region. In fact, underneath the tree, there's a flower of the same kind as the one carried by AZ's Floette. So clearly, the game is not flat out coming out and saying, hey, AZ was here, but it's pretty well confirmed that in the Mega Evolution timeline, sometime after 2,000 years from the Kalos War, AZ was in Hoenn, witnessed Owen's creation, the fight between the legendaries, and then in turn at the end, planted a tree in the front of the Cave of Origin before disappearing once again from the Hoenn region. This tree is what gives this region infinity energy, which if you don't know, infinity energy is the same energy used in the ultimate weapon that only one like light, but also destruction. And if you want to know more about destruction, I theorize per minute, check out the video down below discussing but our fact is AZ was here during the creation. Now, when it comes to the time in 1996, Mr. Stone's grandfather, he states that his grandfather, so stay with me here, not Steven's grandfather, Mr. Stone's grandfather, that would be Steven's father's father, okay? So, we're talking about Steven Stone's great-great-grandfather. He established the Devon Corporation, right?
Yes.
Who then decided to use infinity energy of the ultimate weapon in order to help people in Pokemon, the same way AZ designed it to be used in Kalos, right? The Devon parts, obviously, for a submarine, that would allow it to be powered by infinite energy, and including rockets and everything else. So, infinite energy at this point in the Pokemon timeline in Hoenn has been pretty much used in every technological advancement that Hoenn had made. However, controversy surrounding infinite energy is like personal Pokemon. The reason why people love it is because it's the lightest Pokemon, so you only get the lightest Pokemon in I think you guys can all know what I'm saying. By using energy of Pokemon's so you can really see the controversy of this play. And old-fashioned regions like Johto would not really have been fond of Hoenn starting to use Pokemon in this way and becoming powerful through Mega Evolution, especially because of how and the history of Stone's family involvement in Hoenn. Let's see, Johto lives some 150 years prior to the events of the Johto games. The Johto games in modern day take place in the year 1999, 150 years prior to the Earth's times. No, that is when the Earth's times like it's never stated that Lugia stages there, but it states that Lugia resides in islands. Rule Islands at this point is one island. We'll discuss why this island is so significant in a second, because this is where the entire theory of war is built. Just for clarification, this war had to happen after Lugia arrived at Islands. Because in order for this battle to take place in Lugia's Israel as the war, it had to take place after Lugia left the Earth Town area and took a residence there. manifest once more. So essentially, Lugia destroys this island. And that means that at this point, the people that were fighting over the island must have been really going at it for a while for Lugia to finally have enough and to tear his home apart, or her home apart. It had to have been very angry at the actions of people. So, now that we've played out all the pieces, the beginning, the end, let's get into the theory now of what I think happened and how this war came to be and how it ended. Sometime shortly after Lugia went to World Island, Mr. Stone's granddaddy made the Devon Corporation off the back of Infinity Energy. Infinity Energy, using the life force of Pokemon, was now going to power the region and usher in an industrial revolutionary age for this region of the Pokemon world. And alongside that, they started using Mega Evolution. Now, I know some people are probably going to say, well, they don't have the Mega Ring, so how are they using Mega Evolution? Professor Sycamore had theorized that if your bond is stronger with an elemental stone that was exposed to the ultimate weapon or something like that, those elemental stones can then be used as a Mega Stone and help boost your Mega abilities or defenses in Pokemon. And he said if you have a strong enough bond with a Pokemon, then you may have Six Stone and you can Mega evolve them. Legendaries, they don't even need Mega Stones. So therefore, there are many caveats to how Mega Evolution can kind of work in this area of the world. But in any case, traditional regions like Johto would not have been very fond of the fact that they're using, as I said before, life force energy to power their region, as well as make their Pokemon stronger. Now, as specified before for the first time, I can't really pinpoint exactly when this war would have or could have occurred. But I can trace the Stone lineage to kind of give us an idea of when it could have occurred. So, Stephen Stone is 25 years old in 1996 AAT. That means he was born in 1971 AAT. Mr. Stone is 52 years old, which means that there's a 27 age difference between Mr. Stone and Stephen Stone. Therefore, we can conclude that Mr. Stone was born in 1944. His father would have been born in 1917, and then great-granddaddy, the one who started it all, the big Devon Corporation mongrel himself, would have been born in 1890. Therefore, we can conclude that the war would have had to have happened somewhere between, obviously, when great-granddaddy was a grown man, because, again, I don't think he started the Devon Corporation as a boss baby. Maybe he did. That would be hilarious, but I don't think that's the case. It had to have been probably when he was about a young man, so we can roughly then put the estimate somewhere around where the real world war would take place, or a real world war take place, which would probably be around 1914 AAT, which, if you don't know the significance of that date, would have been when Europe had erupted in World War I. And Pokemon likes to do this thing where they flip a lot of stuff. So, for example, the Kalos War has a lot of reminiscence of the World War II mixed with colonial era and even medieval era of Europe all at once. And in fact, the ultimate weapon is kind of like the nuclear weapon of the Pokemon world, which instead of being used over in Hoenn, Johto, Kanto, Sinnoh, it was actually used over more so in the European-based regions. So over here, it could have flipped it to where one took place as a civil war, which would be reminiscent of the Revolution during the 1800s, 1860s, 1870s, which was the Revolution War, and the concept of the War where it was the Great Pokemon War. So, a little bit of a theory of parallels with Pokemon. So, and by that theory, it would have been 1914, which means that World War II ended in 1918. Alright, so now here's a line theorized when it comes together. So Hoenn is messing with this essentially particular energy. Johto gets wind of it. It's like, okay, I don't want any of that. Sends out, a message to Kanto instead. Now, Sinnoh, of course, and Johto have some very good history with one another, especially with the Sinjo ruins. As you guys can research, we know that's where Arceus, basically resided in the temple, and that DLC we never received in the original Diamond and Pearl games. But essentially, they have a connection. not only do they have a connection, but this is kind of canonical because both regions, even the remakes of Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, don't use Mega Evolution. You know, everybody for the longest time was predicting that Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl was going to have Mega Evolution in their games, and it didn't. So that means that in my hypothesis, in my theory here, Johto and Sinnoh did not get down with the concept of Mega Evolution, even after it was introduced into, you know, the other regions through Owen. So that would mean that they were either opposed or agnostic to it. Obviously, in this theory, I would say that they were opposed. Kanto, on the other hand, unlike Sinnoh, is a very technological, research, scientific region. So naturally, they would have sided with Owen because, as we see in the future, in Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, in the modern day take of the Pokemon world, in the Mega Evolution timeline, because Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee are in the Mega Evolution timeline, not only do they catch wild Pokemon differently in the region of Kanto, but they also use Mega Evolution. So therefore, we can conclude that Kanto was positive towards Owen's advancements and approved of the somewhat questionable way that they were advancing their region, where Johto and Sinnoh were very much opposed. And here is where the two sides split, and here is where the war would have erupted. Now, how would the war have been conducted? Because if you think about how the regions are set up, we've never seen a world map of all four of them all at once, but one could assume we know that Johto and we know that Kanto are connected on the same landmass. So naturally, the majority of the fighting on land probably would have been between these two regions. Now, Hoenn is said to be in the southwest of Johto and Kanto, which means that, obviously, it would be to Johto's left. So that would make sense because World Islands is in between Hoenn and Johto, and as I stated before at the beginning of this video, or near the midterm of this video, Lugia breaks up a battle between two countries on that island. More than likely, it was going to be Hoenn and Johto based on my theory here. That would also mean that Sinnoh, being an island itself, would have to sail around to fight against Kanto, which means that the majority of Sinnoh's fighting would be by sea, and the majority of Johto's fighting would be by land, because they would be in between Hoenn and Kanto, and they really could not afford to split their sea force in order to fight Hoenn, but leave themselves unprotected by Kanto, from Kanto rather, and same thing with Kanto. Kanto really couldn't invade Johto by sea because they would have to worry about Sinnoh constantly attacking them by sea, simply because that's how the battles would play out. So I've basically built the battles into three different categories: the Johto-Kanto land war, the Sinnoh and Kanto sea war, and then the World Island battle between Hoenn and Johto. So let's go over all three and see how the outcome could have played out. So the first part of the battle is going to be dubbed Victory Road. Yes, I'm doing this. It's going to probably make you sit back in your chair and go, oh wow, and make you look at Victory Road a little differently, because hear me out here. The only way Kanto and Johto can really truly engage each other is through either's Victory Road, because we know that in order to get around to the other side where Kanto is otherwise, you have to take a boat. You can't get there any other way. There's no other way to get to Kanto. So therefore, you have to take a boat to sail into Vermilion City. That means that either you're going to fight Kanto by sea, which I already discussed would basically split your sea force between fighting Kanto and fighting Hoenn, which Johto really would have more so concentrated their naval force against Hoenn, because, let's face it, Hoenn is probably the strongest, naval force in this region of the world. I mean, they're known for being a region of mostly water. So they're definitely going to be deadly on the water, for sure. But the only other way to attack each other by land is through the mountain range of Kanto and Johto, which is where the Indigo League will eventually stand much later in the history of Pokemon. So Victory Road, ironically, would have been the place where either one of them could have won their side of the war from a land front. So they dubbed it Victory Road because that's the road, that's the area they needed to win their side of the Civil War. Now, Johto would have came with a strong force known as the Dragon Clan. These guys hail from Blackthorn City, use all kinds of dragons, obviously, like Dragonite and Kingdra. and that's about it. I sat there and said all kinds of dragons, but in reality, Johto and Kanto really didn't have access to a lot of dragons back then. It wasn't until much later, when the world starts to open up more, that Pokemon start to kind of traverse around the land. But at this time, it would have been Kingdra, and it would have been Dragonite that would be fully evolved, and obviously these Dragon Clan users would have been very powerful, very offensive in that Victory Road battle. However, I say that Kanto was probably mostly engaging on the defensive side in this war. And something that a lot of people don't give Kanto credit is that in a war, from a defensive perspective, after looking over the Pokemon and the Pokedex that are available, Kanto's actually set up brilliantly to defend themselves. And that's through their poison and psychic types. So while Johto would have came with this strong offensive force of dragon users, dark type users, the problem is that the poison types are overabundant in Kanto, and so are the psychic types that can create barriers, light screens, all types of stuff, protect barriers, toxic spikes, toxic in general. Like, Kanto has a lot of different ways to defend himself defensively. So I predict that the Victory Road battles would have ended in a stalemate because both sides are pretty evenly matched. One is very offensively, prowessly set up, and then the other side is defensively set up until, that one good Mega Evolution user would come in with a Mega Charizard, and that would change the tide of the battle. So there were probably at points where Kanto was further down the road and looking like they were going to win, and then other times Johto would push them back, and it would be a constant pushing backwards and forth from that particular part of the battle, and it became clear eventually that neither side could win over the battle. Now, the Johto-Kanto Victory Road battle might or might not be.
First. I don't need everything else.